Hey guys, it's Sarah with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we have a review and install of the Rough Country Cab Length DS2 drop side step bars in black, fitting your 19 and newer Ram 1500 crew cab models. These are perfect for the Ram owner who's looking for a running board style step that features a drop step design and nice black finish. These running boards feature a one-piece design with a drop step for ease of entry, especially if your truck is lifted or leveled, and also feature a bit of side and rocker panel protection, plus some coverage as a bonus. They feature heavy-duty steel construction with a nice textured black powder coat finish, and also feature these raised stamped steel step pads for ease of entry in all weather. So as far as price goes, these steps come in at around $400 for the pair, putting them about middle of the road price-wise when compared to other options. And for your money, you are getting this sleek black step with the convenience of the drop step design. And as far as the install goes, I'm giving this one a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It does feature a direct bolt-up install with no modification required and can be done within 2 hours. So with that said, let's check out that install. For this install, we used an impact gun, but a regular hand ratchet will work just fine. You also may want a small extension, and you'll need a 13mm socket. All right, so the first step in our install, we're gonna grab our bracket and then we'll go underneath the truck to get them bolted up. Now underneath your truck, you'll notice 3 studs on the body. This is how we're gonna line up these brackets. Grab your bracket. Now these are all the same in all positions, so grab any bracket. Slide it over all 3 studs. It may be hard to see this one back here, but the process is the same for each one. Now there is a ton of adjustability with this bracket, so if you do need to adjust, you can always loosen these up and make some adjustments later on. What we're gonna do is install the hardware first, a washer, as well as a nylon lock nut. And then with a 13mm socket, we're gonna tighten this down. Now you're going to repeat that for the rest of these studs. Again, it might be a little bit hard to see that last stud on the other side of the bracket, but the process is the same. A washer as well as a nylon lock nut. Then go ahead and tighten it down with that 13mm socket. Now we're moving on to our middle mounting point. Again, you'll see those 3 studs. Grab that bracket, get it lined up over those studs. Grab a washer, as well as a nylon lock nut. And get it installed over that stud. Again, there is a ton of adjustability here. We're gonna leave it right about in the center and tighten it down. If we need to adjust at all, we can always do that later on. Grab that 13mm socket and get it tightened down. Then repeat that for your final mounting point. Same process, washer and lock nut. This one, because it's on the far side, might be a little bit harder to see. Just go ahead and grab that 13 and tighten it down. All right, moving on to the rearmost mounting point. Again, you'll see these 3 studs poking through. Now they may be in a different configuration than the front and middle, but there are enough mounting points for each of these brackets. Just slide them over and grab your hardware. Same thing as before, we're gonna slide a washer as well as a lock nut over each of these studs. Again, there is a lot of adjustability. We're gonna adjust it right about to the center. and then tighten it down. We can always make adjustments later. And because we have a little bit more room on this rear bracket, we're gonna use a power tool. Same thing though with your 13mm socket, tighten it down. Now you can repeat that for the rest of your mounting points. Now that we have the brackets in place, we can grab the step and start to get it lined up. Now you will need to support this or grab a friend to help you as you line up the brackets behind it. All right, now that you have the step lined up with the bracket, again, you wanna make sure this is supported. Don't go under this if it's not supported because it is pretty heavy. Grab this bolt plate, slide it into the step, and then what we're gonna do is line that up with the bracket. Then once you have that bolt plate lined up, go ahead and grab your hardware. On the stud, we're using a washer as well as a nylon lock nut. You may need to hold the back to keep this bolt plate lined up for now. And while it's still loose, we're gonna grab the rest of the hardware, one of our hex bolts, a lock washer and a washer, and thread this in the bottom. Now that those bolts are in, go ahead and start to line up your step. Now there is a ton of adjustability as you can see here. Just go ahead and get it right in the ballpark to where you want it. Again, if you want to make any adjustments, you can always do so later on, but we are going to grab that 13mm socket and tighten it down. Now we're moving on to our middlemost mounting point. Go ahead and grab that bolt plate, slide it in and get it lined up. Now depending on how this lines up, it may be a little easier to get the bottom or the top threaded in. Either way, line up that bolt plate, grab your hardware, and get it all lined up. And now that you have all the hardware installed, go ahead and grab your 13mm socket to tighten it down. You may want a small extension to get you past the bracket. And we'll move on to our last mounting point. All right, and once you have that bracket lined up at the rearmost mounting point now, go ahead and install your hardware. And again, once you have the step adjusted right where you want it, go ahead and grab that 13mm socket and tighten it down. And if you do need to make any adjustments, you can always loosen up these bolts and adjust it forward or back, or even up and down a little bit as well. And now that you have the driver's side step installed, repeat that process to install your passenger side. And that's going to do it for the review and install of these side steps. And remember, for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.